Welcome to another NAMDEVCO Market Bag episode. Through the magic of radio, we take you on another road trip to a market owned and operated by NAMDEVCO, the National Agricultural Marketing Development Company Limited. The next stop on our road trip is the Chaguanas Farmers Market, open exclusively on Saturdays from 6 a.m. to 12 noon. As we get to the market at about 6:30 a.m., it was clear that the Chaguanas community is serious about their fresh local items. They come out early. Come into the market with us and chat with our first farmer, veteran farmer Deo, and his wife Indra. Tell me your name and tell me about what products you farm.
My name is Deonat Rambacha, better known as Dave.
Dave. So what produce you bring to the market on a Sunday?
Most of my produce will be like citrus and but citrus is already citrus right now. We have cooking fig, we have plantain, ripe one, we have green one, we have chiquito, we have gomichel, we have silphig. You see, this is from the garden. All these things, mango, cotton, answer and chalta and all that thing, cane, everything. Everything I have in my garden, I will bring it in the market.
So how long have you been at the farmers market here in Chaguanas?
In the farmers market from inception. I come from David, about 15 years now. As soon as the market open here.
And how long you farming in general?
Since I was a little boy.
So you grew up in it and that kind of thing?
I grew up in my grandfather's land.
It was indeed a pleasure talking to Dave. At Chaguanas, it is noticeable that there's a balanced distribution between seasoned farmers and a new crop of agricultural entrepreneurs. One of the new ideas in agroprocessing is root crop flour and powder. And at Chaguanas, we met a young man who processes local roots and herbs to make flours and powders. Meet Fidel.
I am Fidel Solomon, the co-founder of NAMDEVCO Enterprise. We are a local agri-processor based in Tabaki. What we manufacture is flour and powder. So some of the products you'll find by us is like cassava flour, plantain flour, sweet potato flour. We do herbal powders like moringa, kale, turmeric, ginger. We have our own local curry blend. We have pimento flakes. We have cayenne pepper powder. And that's just the name of food. We have about 32 products. We also have pancake mix derived from the sweet potato and cassava flour. We have our tortilla wrap. And all these products are just to add one ingredient, so it makes your life easy and while going the healthy lifestyle. Yeah?
All of these things are really locally produced items that you dehydrate and you make into your flours and in powders and that.
Yes, every single one of our products is manufactured by us and sourced locally.
Most of these are gluten-free, I guess.
All the root crops and provision flours is gluten-free, and that's what made us come up with the mixes. So like the pancake mix and the tortilla wrap mix, we add everything you need to add in it. So it removes the work from your plate. So all you have to do is add one ingredient, that could be almond milk or dairy milk, and prepare your pancake. That's it.
It was interesting to see young people getting into farming, and Fidel offered this bit of encouragement for anyone thinking about coming into the farmers market, whether you're a would-be farmer, artisan, agro-processor, or even a customer.
I never know NAMDEVCO Farmers Market is so interesting. I mean, who likes to go to the market, right? You go to buy things to cook. But when you come to the NAMDEVCO Farmers Market, you see so much innovation, so much of products. It's not just produce. You get to meet all these artisans and businesses with different types of things that they have to offer you. And it's 100% local. So you come to the market knowing that everything you get in is 100% local. And there's a lot of things to partake in. And trust me, when you come here, you have everything you need in the market.
Definitely one of the most popular places to find local produce on a weekend. But there's one thing we have noticed about the Chaguanas Farmers Market. There's a passing on of the mantle to the younger generation. It's as though this is the location to pass on the baton in the race towards food security. We chat with a young agro-processing entrepreneur and with one of the Chaguanas Farmers Market's longest and proudest customers. First, let's meet the young beekeeper.
I am the beekeeper. I'm from Rio Claro. So it's my own business. So I've been here since the beginning of the market, the farmers market. And so far it's been a good experience. Yeah.
So you look pretty young. I don't want to judge you, but tell me a lot about your age, how long you have been doing this, straight out of school, but how that experience was?
During school actually, about 14 years now. I'm 26. So yeah.
That is the voice of Adrian, a beekeeper and honey producer who has been doing this since he was 12 years old. He was very thorough in explaining his process. So let's listen.
I do migratory beekeeping. So that
What does that mean? What explain
Alright,
that to me?
so that's moving the bees throughout the country, different times of the year to maximize on honey production. So yeah, wherever the most flower blooming at that time, you would move the boxes to that location.
And how you set up that? So you move, how long you leave it in a location?
Well, it depends on how long the flower blooming for. So yeah, sometimes it'll be a couple of weeks, a couple of months, depending on the location, time of the year. The weather does affect that a lot as well. Most beekeepers class the honey depending on the type of nectar the bees feed on. So the majority of blossoms at that point in time, that's what the beekeeper will call the honey. So it have like citrus honey, like 90% of the blossoms at that time would be citrus. It would have mix in between. Yeah. So it's polyfloral. Trinidad is too small to
focus on one particular flower type. Do you know what an empty nester is? Well, those are parents who now live alone after their children have grown up and moved into a nest of their own. Meet Dennis. He is an empty nester who makes the Chaguanas Farmers Market his very own perch on a Saturday morning. Hear from him yourself. Good morning.
Pleasant good morning.
What's your name?
Dennis.
Dennis, how far you come from? Because this is Chaguanas Farmers Market.
I come from just outside the Kunupia area.
And how often you come to the farmers? Every week?
Saturday, religiously. Every Saturday.
Why every Saturday?
Well, this is the only day that the farmers market operates on a Saturday morning. It opens at 6. I am here at 5:45 to make sure I'm the first person that comes through that gate.
And get your fresh produce.
Yes,
having some
yes.
coffee and that
well,
kind of thing.
This is part of the experience. This farmers market is more than just purchasing what the farmers, and that's another thing. I like to see the farmers themselves bring the produce that they have worked hard and they can put it on the table and sell it. It makes me feel good. But this year, this just adds to the experience where I can come, chit chat, Mr. Graham, Mr. Tony Dial, you sit down and you have a coffee, which is also brewed by the merchants. This is from Mamural, you understand? So it feels good knowing that somebody's sweat went into this, somebody from an area that I am familiar with. I wish every community should have something like this. This is a meeting place. This is more than just purchasing. This is mental health. This is dealing with your mental health right here. You know, I will sit here. Sometimes I don't need stuff in the market, you know. I live with wifey. We are empty nesters. All the kids are away. Just like Graham here. And we just come here for the experience, not necessarily for the produce, the fresh produce.
The Chaguanas Farmers Market is really a very special place. The atmosphere is energetic and purposeful. Be sure to check it out on Saturday mornings from 6 a.m. to 12 noon. Well, that's how we close off this edition of The Market Bag. On our next trip, we will head to Orange Valley Wholesale Fish Market.
This was a production of the Information Division, Government Communications.